All right, let's now put the focus on Tata 1Mg. The digital healthcare platform is entering a new growth phase with plans to expand offline. In fact, the company has also been making giant strides so far as AI is concerned. It has partnered with Unicommerce to streamline back-end operations and boost delivery efficiencies. Backed by Tata Digital, remember the company, the e-pharmacy's revenue has tripled reportedly since 2021. But is that the trajectory for the company going forward as well? What will be the tailwinds, the headwinds, and how big is the delivery of medicines bet going to prove for the company? We're now joined by Prashant Tandon, the co-founder and CEO of Tata 1Mg, to answer those and many other questions. Thank you very much, Prashant, for taking the time out.
Thank you for having me here.
So lots of interesting news around Tata 1Mg. Prashant, you're looking at an offline expansion of the company. What does that mean for you? And does that mean that you will now become an omni-channel brand? And what brings about a rejig in your strategy?
So I think the consumer behavior clearly is moving omni-channel, and as one of the significant players in the Indian pharmacy landscape and healthcare landscape beyond pharmacy, we have to be where the consumers are. And I think the world today is shopping online, shopping offline, at least in the healthcare world. Bringing it both together just completes the offering in many, many ways. For us, it's a very important part of our growth strategy. We will be setting up a lot of physical footprint, and I think the next phase will see online, offline seamlessly work for the consumer wherever they need their healthcare services, be it medicines, lab tests, consultations, anything that they need.
Right. So, Prashant, which geographies will you be expanding into when you say that there will be a considerable offline presence, and how big is that opportunity for you?
So see, India is a large country and there's opportunity all over. But strategically, we will be starting with, we have already started our operations in North and a little bit in the East. We'll go deep in these geographies and then we'll expand to the rest of the country. So all major cities over a period of time are in scope. And yes, as a digital player, we already cover 2,000 cities in the country. Physical footprint will follow as we strategically figure out where it makes sense at what point in time. We'll go deep in clusters and then move to the next clusters. We started with North.
Right. So, of course, that omni-channel strategy is something that you'll be betting big on. But the other bet that, Prashant, you're taking for the company is the AI bet. You've partnered with Unicommerce to bring about efficiencies. Give us an understanding of how that is going to function. And eventually, in your bottom lines, how do you expect that to reflect?
The AI bet is a very, very important and significant bet. I think AI is going to change healthcare in many, many, many ways. And at Tata 1Mg, we have been investing in, we get a lot of data. Every day we get many gigabytes of data. We today have a repository of more than 120 terabytes of data. So a lot of data that comes to us in healthcare, and that is going to make healthcare much more personalized, predictive, preventative, all that stuff that is the holy grail for healthcare that is now becoming a reality. And it's not only one, of course, there's the automation and efficiency part of AI, but there's the fundamental health trajectory part of AI, which we are actually very, very excited about. And in this, India is not going to play a role of the world will develop models and we will copy them or play catch up with them. We have actually both an insane amount of data and all the capabilities we need to make sense of it. So we are creating AI models for healthcare that we believe could be defining the way healthcare works, not only in India in the future, but also in the entire global south and beyond. I think there's a huge opportunity in healthcare AI. On the other hand, the area that you mentioned for AI, efficiency and productivity in our supply chains, in our systems, in our customer operations, all that is aggressively underway. So yes, Tata 1Mg is an AI first company. We do AI research, fundamental work in data sciences, and that is what is going to make healthcare in the future personalized, predictive, and preventative.
Absolutely, Prashant. And you're betting big on the global south as well as far as AI's integration into medicine delivery and healthcare ecosystem is concerned. But let's not talk about your financials. In fact, from the snapshot that I have for FY24, your revenues were up 21%, 80% of that coming in from medicine sales. However, your cash burn is estimated to have grown as well, and net loss, meanwhile, has shrunk massively. So that's a good thing. But how do you plan to cut that cash burn, and how do you look at building profitability at the same time?
I think a lot of work has happened over the last few years to get the business to profitability. And now you have to look at the business in two dimensions. Number one is the core business. And then number two is the new initiatives that we are investing behind: brick and mortar retail, corporate health and wellness, and the AI work we do. We are very aggressively investing behind our new initiatives. And the good news is that the core businesses, the stable businesses, have all turned profitable. So we are riding on a very strong core where our existing business lines have turned profitable, and we have a huge appetite to invest where there is opportunity, where there is a need and a clear value creation path. That's what we feel is in the omni-channel play and the AI work we do, and we'll continue to invest heavily behind that. So if you disaggregate our burn, you will find that it's a combination of good, strong, profitable lines of business and strong investment for the future. So that's kind of the position. So as a company, we are very satisfied where we are right now. I think we are in a strong position.
Position to achieve profitability, Prashant, but do you have a timeline in place given the fact that you're looking at growing the company as well and you're looking at geographic expansion?
Yeah, no, so profitability in many ways is a choice. We want to, and we see opportunity for growth, and we have an appetite to invest in that. So I think we will right now continue to, as I said, make sure our existing lines of business, they are profitable and they turn more and more profitable. That is a clear focus for us. So expanding profitability in all existing lines, and then healthcare has so much to be done, so much need for investment, so much need to build infrastructure. We'll continue to build that aggressively. And the good news is that there is a lot of people in the ecosystem. Our group has immense appetite to invest behind the right business models. So I think we are in a good position in the sense that this is a sector that is developing very rapidly. We are developing at a very rapid pace within this sector, and we have the appetite to do that. So we are not in a hurry to get to just an annual profitability. I think growth is equally important and a very, very real value creation opportunity ahead of us. So we are looking at a 5 to 10 year play here. And as I said, the core business is profitable, and that will continue.
Given the kind of geographic expansion, absolutely. Absolutely, Prashant. You're looking at growth, so that seems to be the headline from here. But, talking about the medicine delivery space, that is heating up. You do have Apollo Pharmacy also expanding its offline presence. They're planning to deliver medicines delivery in 19 minutes. How are you looking at that quick commercification of medicine delivery, and what are the kind of returns that you're expecting from that, given the fact that, consumers are really lapping that opportunity up in terms of whether it's the delivery of food, whether it's a delivery of other FMCG goods?
Yeah, quick commerce is clearly a consumer behavioral change we have seen in our ecosystem over the last few years. And I think we also have our strategy for delivering medicines quick. We are doing that already in 6 cities in the country. Our strategy hinges on 2 parts. Number one, our retail stores. We use our neighborhood retail stores as the place where we serve the local catchment. And number 2, we have a partnership with Big Basket where we leverage some of their infrastructure as well to do faster delivery of medicines. Quick commerce will continue to be a strong growth lever, and the model that we have chosen, which is the neighborhood delivery through our retail footprint, that actually is the sustainable long-term model in our view, in this category at least, and that's the model that we'll continue to build on. On the other hand, I think, quick commerce in pharmaceuticals is very, very important it is to know that the quality processes cannot be compromised, and it needs a lot of learning curve and knowledge. So while a lot of players might jump into this category, seeing how lucrative it seems to be, the fact is there's a lot of processes and systems that you need to do e-pharmacy right, to do it with the right quality, with the right compliance, with the right making sure that medicine dispensation quality in no way gets compromised. That's what we do at Tata 1mg, and our model, I'm pretty sure, is both sustainable as well as scalable.
Right. So, Prashant, you did mention about, expanding, you being present in 6 cities so far as, the quick commerce deliveries are concerned. What are your plans of expansion, given that you said that this is going to be a strong growth lever for the company? What is it that you're anticipating in terms of growth from this particular vertical versus, your other platforms?
I think by end of this year, we are looking to be in around 25, 26 cities providing quick commerce. That's the aspiration that we are setting ourselves up for. And this will be a key part of our offering set to the consumers in these 26 cities.
Okay. Okay. But Prashant, I do have to talk to you about the doorstep delivery of medicines. I mean, that concept is still facing some challenges, some legal challenges. You also mentioned that, as a company, you're looking at some of these challenges with respect to, how the medicine is actually delivered. But are you approaching the government to sort of iron out some of these issues? Not just you, but you as a representative of the entire industry, you amongst other industry representatives, are you looking at? And what are the kind of, moves that you're making to resolve that, or perhaps to arrive at some sort of an understanding with respect to that?
I think as a responsible industry body, we've always engaged with the regulators and the ministries, and tried to work and make sure that there is progressive regulation in the country around this fast evolving space of digital healthcare. There's a new Drugs and Cosmetic Act that is in draft form. So there's a bunch of background work that is going on in that sense. So as an industry, we'll continue engaging with the regulators and the ministries, and I think it has to be a very positive, continued dialogue. And over the last 10 years, it's been like that. We've been very active, in fact, proactive in working with the ecosystem, trying to make sure that whatever we do is with full compliance, and the ecosystem actually moves forward with, as I said, positive regulation. So actively engaging always, but I think there is always this ecosystem has grown up very well thanks to both a very receptive ministry and regulator, as well as the startup ecosystem willing to engage on a continuous basis.
Right, just final 2 questions, Prashant, before we let you go. Now, there are also talks that Tata 1mg is looking for additional funding as well. So how much exactly are you looking at raising, if you could give us a ballpark figure, and how exactly are you looking to deploy that funding, that additional funding that reportedly you're looking at?
I would not be able to comment on those things at this point. I think the company has enough sources of capital available. Okay. We will choose the most suitable source to finance our growth needs. And I think we are in a good position that we have a choice to make.
Okay. Okay. Right. Final question, Prashant. Now, since you speak about growth, what are your growth targets and focus areas for the company over the next couple of months, over the next couple of quarters?
So we are looking for strong growth. We are looking north of 25% growth in the coming phase. And I think it continued CAGR over the next 5 years of north of 25 to 30%. That's what we would be targeting. We see the headroom. We see as I said, we have the appetite to invest behind that. So this is a growth industry. This is an industry where the business models have now been proven. Once the business models are proven, it's all about scaling up, continuing to scale up responsibly and fast. That's what we'll do.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you very much, Prashant, for taking the time out and speaking to us right here on ET Now about the plans of expansion and scaling up that the company has. Appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you, Sumita. Pleasure speaking with you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that interaction. It's time for us to step into a very quick break, but after the break, we'll be looking at Bitcoin breaking all records. That and more is coming up right after this short break. Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central, and now let's take a look at Bitcoin, which is breaking all records. It's crossed the $111,000 mark for the first time. This is a historic move for the cryptocurrency that has surged past that mark, and it's hit an all-time high, and that has reignited global interest in cryptocurrency markets. Well, the rally is coming amidst renewed optimism in the U.S. economy, regulatory clarity around crypto regulation, and significant institutional inflows into Bitcoin as well. My colleague Rabinder is now joining us with more details on the legs that are supporting this rally, and for how long will this rally be able to continue, Rabinder?
Well, yes, Bitcoin has surged $111,000 for the first time, climbing as much as more than 3% to hit a record high of $111,878, driven by growing institutional demand and optimism surrounding regulatory clarity. And this anticipation has been fueled by the advancement of a key stablecoin bill in the US Senate, backed by President Donald Trump. And adding to this momentum, Michelle Seller's strategy has stockpiled over $50 billion in Bitcoin, alongside other aggressive token buyers contributing to the rally. And further supporting the surge, reports indicate that $4.2 billion has flowed into 12 US Bitcoin ETFs in May alone, with the traders placing large bets on $110,000 to $3 lakh calls expiring on June 27. If we talk about Bitcoin performance, that Bitcoin was up by 25% in last 1 month.
Well, CoinDCX suggests that price momentum is going to sustain going forward with respect to Bitcoin, and whether that impact will we see a trickle-down impact of that on other cryptocurrencies? Well, that remains to be seen. But let's take a look at some news coming in from Zomato. Well, Zomato's new long-distance fee is reportedly under fire. The National Restaurant Association of India has raised concerns over the added burden that this places on restaurants. In fact, NRAI has initiated a dialogue with Zomato on this, but the platform is yet to respond to ET Now's queries. My colleague Anjali Palot is here with more details on that story. Anjali?
The National Restaurants Association of India has taken up the issue of the long distance fee that was introduced by Zomato. Now, this apex body will now be starting their dialogue with Zomato, as many restaurants have expressed their discontentment with this letter that was sent to them. So, the heart of this matter is a letter that was sent by Zomato to select restaurants, asking them to pay an additional fee for orders that are beyond 4-kilometer radius from the restaurant. According to this letter, on any order that is above 150 rupees and the delivery radius is between 4 kilometers to 6 kilometers, an additional fee of 15 rupees to 20 rupees is to be borne by the restaurant, and this variation depends on the city that the restaurant is in. For any order that is beyond 6 kilometers, this fee goes up to 25 rupees to 35 rupees. However, in the letter, Zomato has stated that including this fee, the total commissions that will be charged by the platform to the restaurant will be capped at 30%. Restaurants, however, are unhappy with this additional fee and had voiced their concerns to NRAI, which is now beginning these discussions with Zomato over the long distance fees.
All right. Thank you very much, Anjali. And of course, we'll be getting back to you whenever there are more updates from NRAI's side or Zomato's side on that story. But some news coming in on the taxi app front as well, where India's Consumer Protection Authority may soon issue notices to other bike and cab aggregators after Uber on the advanced feature of advanced tip. In fact, the CCPA has already sent a notice to Uber over its advanced tip feature and has directed it to respond within 15 days. My My colleague Sameer Dikshit is now joining in with this exclusive. Sameer, so the CCPA is looking at pulling up other cab aggregators as well. What more are you learning on this action being planned by the CCPA?
It is not just Uber, but several other bike and cab aggregators are under the lens of CCPA. India's Consumer Protection Authority is likely to send the notice to these cab and bike aggregators over the feature of advanced tip. A similar notice has already been served to Uber on its advanced tip feature, and a detailed response has been sought from Uber within 15 days. Now, government understands that this feature of advanced tip, it is basically unethical and exploitative. Not just this, these features of advanced tip, it basically influences the consumer's choice, which is unethical. And based on these grounds, a similar notice has been served to Uber. But government has also seen that they are receiving complaints from the consumers on various platforms related to other such bike and cab aggregators where this advanced tip feature is present. And CCPA is likely to send this notice very soon to these aggregators which are using the feature of advanced tip. So, if you see, Uber is not just the only player. This advanced tip feature has been rolled out on Uber's platform almost 4 or 5 months back, but there are other aggregators which are using this advanced tip feature since a long time, and now government is taking a close call, is now evaluating and inquiring that why this feature is there on their platform and why it should not be received, it should not be removed. In addition to this, we are also picking up from our sources that if a satisfactory answer or response will not be received from these aggregators, then a hefty penalty or a strict action might be taken up in coming days.
All right, the final story before we end the show, and let's put the focus now on Google I/O. Google I/O, the event basically had Google announcing AI advancements. That includes Gemini's AI assistants, and there are new features as well, like personalized help, AI mode for search, and Project Astra for all smartphones. In fact, all of these announcements, they took place at Google I/O 2025 event, where Google introduced upgraded versions of existing models. Google CEO Sundar Pichai addressed the event along with other colleagues. Let's take a look at some excerpts from that event.
We want to get our best models into your hands and our products ASAP. I'm particularly excited about the rapid model progress. And today, Gemini 2.5 Pro sweeps the LM Arena leaderboard in all categories. It's getting a lot of love across the top coding platforms thanks to all of you.
Today, we're making 2.5 Pro even better by introducing a new mode we're calling Deep Think. Deep Think uses our latest cutting-edge research in thinking and reasoning, including parallel techniques.
We are in a new phase of the AI platform shift, where decades of research are becoming reality for people all over the world. Introducing Google Beam, a new AI-first video communications platform. Beam uses a new state-of-the-art video model to transform 2D video streams into a realistic 3D experience. Our research prototype, Project Mariner. It's an agent that can interact with the web and get stuff done. We released it as an early research prototype in December, and we have made a lot of progress since. And we are starting to bring agentic capabilities to Chrome, Search, and the Gemini app. You might be familiar with our AI-powered smart reply features. Now imagine if those responses could sound like you. That's the idea behind personalized smart replies. With your permission, Gemini models can use relevant context across your Google apps in a way that is private, transparent, and fully under your control. Let's say my friend wrote to me looking for advice. He's taking a road trip to Utah, and he remembers I did this trip before. Gemini can do almost all the work for me, looking up my notes in Drive, scanning past emails for reservations. Gemini matches my typical greetings from past emails, captures my tone, style, and favorite word choices, and then it automatically generates a reply. Google Search is bringing generative AI to more people than any other product in the world. In our biggest markets like the US and India, AI overviews are driving over 10% growth in the types of queries that show them. What's particularly exciting is that this growth increases over time. We are introducing an all-new AI mode. It's a total reimagining of search. With more advanced reasoning, you can ask AI mode longer and more complex queries. The opportunity with AI is truly as big as it gets. This opportunity to improve lives is not something I take for granted. It's a reminder of how incredible the power of technology is to inspire, to awe, and to move us forward. And I can't wait to see what amazing things we'll build together next.